Hello and welcome. This is the sewing instructions video for the Tetiana Case Studio Ikea Ingolf chair cover pattern. I'm doing something a little different and making chair covers for my chairs today that are in dire need. As you can see, there's lots of grease and food and markers and slime that my kids have gotten on these chairs. So I thought it was time to replace them. I am using this fabric that I found in my fabric stash that I've had forever and ever. It's a beige that will go well and is similar to the beige color already on the chairs. I do recommend that you use a fabric with a little bit of stretch, just like this one here, for your chair covers, just to give yourself a little leeway. After making my pattern, I am cutting out the pieces. I'm just doing one chair cover here. This is actually one of my testers. And you'll notice here the pattern is different than the actual chair cover. If you've already removed the chair cover, you'll see that it's different. And that's because I tried to copy the pattern of the chair cover first, but I found it that I couldn't get the exact result that I wanted. Like, it didn't look as good, and also it was a bit complicated to sew. I really wanted to make a pattern that was super simple and really easy and quick to put together, because I just predict that I'm gonna have to do this a couple times a year and just replace these chair covers as my kids destroy them. So yeah, I based this pattern on a set of IKEA chairs that I had previously that also had cushions, and they had a very simple pattern that I copied, and I did this multiple times. So I'm doing it the same style of pattern for these chairs. So for one chair cover, I'm cutting out 2 layers of my fabric, cut out the hole in the middle for just one of the layers. And once those 2 pieces are cut and you have your elastic, you are ready to sew. As a general note, I'm doing everything in this video very quickly, and I'm not really focusing on being exactly perfect. Like I said, I think that I'm gonna have to do this many times, so I'm going for speed here instead of accuracy and trying to make it absolutely perfect. I just want to be able to do this very quickly and efficiently when it's time to replace these covers. So I start off by sewing the 2 pieces of fabric together around the whole perimeter, right side to right side. Once that is done, I put some notches in that sharp corner that is towards the back of the chair cushion. And I also trim the extra seam allowance all around the corners, the rounded corners. So I've put 1/2 inch seam allowance around the whole perimeter, but trimming those corners really helps them to be a bit more sharp, and you don't have all that excess seam allowance bunching up when you're putting your cover onto the chair. Once that is done, I quickly serged the edge of the inside hole there. You don't have to do this. I did this because my fabric was fraying a little bit. But if I didn't have a fabric that frayed, I would skip this altogether. Next, you'll take your elastic. You'll see I'm kind of eyeballing it here, and that was before I figured out the measurement. I've given you the measurement in the pattern instructions there, but that measurement might differ if you're using a different kind of elastic. I mean, just see how tight it is, and the one I'm using is really sturdy. It's a 1/2 inch, and it's got a really nice like bouncy stretch. I know some of them are not as strong. Before sewing in the elastic, I just find the middle and I pin it to the middle of one of the sides. It honestly doesn't matter which side at all. You could pin it to any one of the 4 sides, and you'll start sewing the elastic onto the fabric at the opposite side of where you've pinned your elastic. And the reason I'm pinning it is to help myself determine how much I need to stretch as I'm sewing, so that the gathering that is going to be created by the elastic, because the elastic is smaller than the hole, the gathering that is going to be created by elastic is going to have even tension all the way around. And you'll see once I start sewing how I do that. So I stretch the fabric to its maximum and grab where it meets the fabric and kind of keep sewing, and that's having that one pin in the middle there helps me to keep the tension even throughout the whole elastic until I reach the end and I backstitch there really good where the fabric overlaps 1/2 inch. And just to clarify, you're sewing this elastic to the wrong side of the fabric. Once you're done attaching the elastic, it is finished. It is all done. You can turn it inside out. I mean, again, if you want to press it, that is up to you. I'm completely skipping this step because when I put the cover on, it's going to be pretty taut on that cushion. So any of the creases, etc. in my fabric are just going to go away over time. And I'll show you how I replace the covers. So if you haven't already done that, you would turn the chair over and just take out all the screws. There's 4 of them, and you remove the chair from itself, from the cushion, and remove the cushion cover. It's that easy, and you can put your new one on after and spend some time just kind of pulling it and adjusting it, making sure the seam allowance is laying flat. Really take your time kind of adjusting it and making sure it looks good before you attach it to the chair. Once you're happy with the way it's looking, I would attach 3 of the screws and then just do a last adjustment before attaching the last screw, because that will kind of tighten everything and you won't be able to move it much after that. And now we're done, and here are my chairs with their new covers that will last approximately half a day. The pattern for this chair cover is in the description below, linked to our Etsy shop, Tetiana K Studio. Thanks for watching. Bye.